was today's practice? Was it any better than yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday I thought it was sloppy. I really, the freshmen obviously have to learn how to practice, and, that's a good sign that the upperclassmen, there's a major separation between the upperclassmen and the freshmen, and probably 4 years ago I couldn't say that. So that's a good sign. And I thought today they picked it back up, but there's some freshmen I think that are at the linebacker core. Ronnell Hall at wide receiver, I think he's caught some people's attention. And both corners, Dukes and Easton, I think have showed some good feet and hips and stuff that can help us this season. So, I'm pleased the way they worked today, and obviously we went this morning practice-wise, and it's a little nippier this afternoon. Went out there, but other than that, I thought the installation improved, and again we have two young quarterbacks, walk-ons, that are fourth and fifth guys, and that's really what was putting the ball on the ground a lot yesterday. So other than that, I thought there was improvement today.
You mentioned earlier in the spring, Coach, that there was kind of like a lack of leadership on the defensive side of the ball. Did you say that now you think that someone has stepped up?
I never said there was a lack of leadership. I said I was looking. You got the L right. I was looking for leadership. And I think, when I look at I always look at the senior class on both sides of the ball. And I think offensively, they have a lot of kids back that have played a lot of downs. That, the experience is there, which leads to confidence, which should lead to leadership. I think the defensively is still fairly young. But, Darius, Noel, Josh Lynam, Kamal Ishmael, those guys have been playing a lot of downs for us, and it's going to fall into their hands when I can see the defense right now. But I think collectively there's the senior class, and I've never won unless you had a senior class that was a leadership team. They had good chemistry. They control your locker room. They control a lot of things that happen with your young players, and I think this group here collectively, I think, is a good group. All right, I'll know more when we start putting pads on. It starts getting a little sticky out there, but I think overall, it's their football team, it's their locker room, and they've done a good job of enforcing that with the young players.
Coach, how's Godfrey as a leader, and what does he need to do to get better at that?
Well, one is get a driver's license. But he had that hearing today, and it was, he paid his fine, and I saw his license. He has all that taken care of. So it was more irresponsible on his part for what he did, and I spoke to him at least 10 times about what I expect and what I expect from him in the football program. But that's really I'm moving on from there. Everything was dropped as far as the fine was paid, and that's really what happened with that today. But other than that, I think Jeff is a kid that your quarterback needs to be a natural leader. If you have to make him a leader, you got problems. I think the big thing is that they either command respect or they don't command respect. If they don't command respect as a quarterback on your team, you're going to have problems. And I don't see that there. He commands respect for. He's not a big talker. He's not a loud guy, but by his actions, he basically does what he's supposed to do on the field. He's a hard worker off the field, and I think kids respect him because they understand he can make things happen. And again, as I tell our team all the time, when we start contact, they'll be in red shirts because you can replace most positions. You can't replace quarterbacks. You can't. There's just not. There's not enough reps out there to get that done. So, again, I think his leadership, I think, is improved, but he's still only a sophomore. And I think last year, I think for a freshman, when you look at him in the off season and you sit down and you look at the film, the two areas I spoke to him about in the spring, his poise in the pocket and his decision-making process downfield were two things he had to improve on. And I think he did a great job of getting that done. Because we left a lot of plays in the pocket. He outran everybody to the sideline, but you sort of limit where you can go with the ball when that happens. But again, he has more understands protection better, he understands coverage better, and, you know, I think he works at the game, and, you know, if he can play 10, 12, 15% better than he did last year, I think we're going to be a very strong offense.
Coach, the USA Today top 25 poll came out. UCF was at 33. What were your thoughts on that?
I don't get involved in polls. You know, it's more important where you are in December, as I look at it. But, you know, I've never been a big believer in the top 25 anyway. I think there's so many mistakes in that top 25 that I always thought you should have a top 10, at least for the month of September, because, you know, it's so hard if you're not in the top 25 to get there. It almost takes 2 losses, 3 losses to get some of those people off the top 25. But I think a top 10 is, you know, you may make a mistake on, you know, 4 or 5 teams, but you're not making a mistake on 15 of them. All right, and you know, I've always been a big believer in the top 10, and then once you get through September, then once you have some games on your belt, you have the top 25, because I think that people can rationally vote once they see what kind of team is out that year.
Coach, along those same lines, can you talk, last year you were a little bit under the radar, this year you come in as defending conference champions, just the higher expectations, probably from the outside, I know that, you know.
Well, no, I'd rather be where we're sitting now than where we were when I got here and stuff. You know, I think the expectation levels are higher, and I think the team has to react to that. I know the coaches do, and I think our fan base expects more, and I'd rather be sitting there that people have a genuine interest in your program, a genuine interest in that, you know, the team should be able to do this and get these things done, than hoping and wishing that things happen right. I think I've addressed our team about, you know, need to move from that Liberty Bowl. That game's over, and it's a new year, a new season, and you're going to be judged on what's done this year, not last year. And I think you got to grow with that Liberty Bowl win, and I think it has helped the team from a confidence level. You know, just, you know, that if they do things right, good things can happen.
With so many verses last year, what does it take for a program to take a next step?
Well, consistency. I don't think you can go up and down. You got to keep climbing. I think that's what I look at, and we're continually asked about expansion. And you know, I think the only thing we can do as a football program is continue to win, and that's all really that we should do. And then hopefully the right decisions are being made by administration and everybody else that's working towards those goals. And I've been very pleased with Conference USA. And I've addressed our team. I addressed them in the spring that, you know, I said last year that I think if we do the right things, we have an opportunity to win each and every game. But again, you know, you go back on the 3 games that we lost last year, you can't turn it over 5 times and expect to be a ball game. And I think those were all winnable games that we just didn't get done. All right, but I think that we got to go out and play well. We obviously have more depth than we've had in past years as far as the program's concerned. But I think the key is you can't be a roller coaster. You got to basically keep climbing as a program. And that's basically everything in the program, the fan base, the support staffs, as well as just not the game on Saturday.
Coach, you said you think every game is winnable. Does that mean the guys think the goal is a BCS bowl? If you
No, I didn't say that. I said every game's winnable, and you know, we played 12 one-game seasons, and the most important game right now is the first game. And everybody says, well, no, it's not. It's the second game. I didn't know. It's the first game for me, and that's the way I talk to our football team, because everybody else talks the other way. And again, the 25 scholarship limitations have really equalized a lot of, you know, I think every team has skilled athletes. I think what separates a lot of the conferences, as I see it, is the upfront people. You know, they have dominant offensive linemen, defensive linemen, and that's where you win the game. Now, the skilled athletes get all the credit, but, you know, I've yet to see a team that did very, very well, that didn't have dominant guys on defense up front and dominant guys on offense up front, because, you know, that sets the tone of the game.